All right, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another Rust tutorial on how to do things with the industrial update for Rust. Okay, so previous videos we've seen how we can smelt ore automatically, how to fill our TC automatically, and how to sort things out automatically. So now we're going to continue it on and build a bunch of raid equipment. We can go raiding, how to convert our resources into actual things, and how to sell an item, and which we can then, the profit we get from that, we can make other things with it. All right, so let's get started on that. Okay, so there's one change we have to make because we have to add something to it. We are going to need some stuff out of this component box. All right, so let's go ahead and add in a combiner. Okay, do that. We'll just set that there. We'll go ahead and have an output here into, and we'll do it as 2. Usually you want to do 1 as part of your extension, but instead we just go ahead and do this one. All right, we're going to undo this one. Bring this over to here, and then up into here. And we'll take this out and tap back into our main line over here. All right. So now now that everything has access to the components. All right. So from there, we'll take the output of 1. Okay, we're going to bring it all the way over here. Can't do it directly there, so we'll have to kind of wrangle it around that. And there we go. Okay, so now we need to pipe to these different items here, and we're going to set up some conveyors and stuff like that for all that fun stuff. All right, so let's get that going. All right, so we're going to need some conveyors. We're going to need we're going to make our level 1 workbench here. Get rid of that. Is going to make gunpowder. Okay. And then the way you make your blueprints, you get the item, put it in your research bench, and then get your blueprint that way. So, okay, so here we're going to do gunpowder. Up here we're also going to do gunpowder. Then we'll need our level 2. We're going to do Molotovs. We're going to do grenades. Our level 3, we're going to do explosives. And then we're going to do rockets. All right. So, and that'll give us some good things to raid with. We got Molotovs burning stuff down. We got grenades to blow things up, and then we'll have rockets to which to shoot things with. All right. So let's get that going. All right. So now we want to get the conveyors. Okay. So we need input. And then we're going to have an output. Okay. We'll also need to combine the output. All right. So we'll need a combiner. All right. So here we're going to correlate the top one with the top one, and then bottom one to bottom one. All right. So our output on this here is going to be gunpowder. So there's our gunpowder. Okay. To make gunpowder, it's going to be 20 sulfur and 30 charcoal. Now I like to set up, so we have sulfur and charcoal. Now myself, I like to set up where I have at least enough materials for 3 runs. So that'll be 60 sulfur and 90 charcoal. Okay, hit apply. Now instead of using another conveyor for the bottom, we'll do it through a splitter. Okay, so go ahead and remove this. and change that to a splitter instead. All right. All right, so the output here is going to go to the, oh, that's wrong one. Output is going to go to the input of this splitter. All right. And then from that output, now since we're only going to go to 2, we're not going to expand anymore, but we'll go ahead and leave that 1 out just because, for expansion purposes. All right, so now we're going to go down, output of this. Okay, that's going to go to the input there. All right, and this next output. And we'll go to the input there. All right. Okay. All right, so there's our inputs for our conveyors. Now we want to bring those out of these inputs back out. Okay. Yeah. Redo that one. Okay, output. See, we'll go that to number 2. And then number 3 would be the opposite one. All right. And then from here, oops. Is it over here? Yeah, it's over there. All right. And so this filter here is going to be gunpowder. Okay, so now this is going to be dumped back into system of goodies. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, and there we go. We got that input there. So that's going to put it back into our in and output box. All right, let's see if I can do this a little bit better here. There we go. Yeah, it looked kind of funny standing up. The same way it did this one too. All right, let's try this again. Pipe blocked. Must have got too close to the wall. All right, try it again. Got to kind of watch that stuff. There we go. There we go. All right. So there's our gunpowder. Okay, and we'll need a input from here. So we'll take number 2. And there we go. All right. So this filter here is going to draw sulfur and charcoal from our system. So let's go ahead and get that input in. I don't think I've got any in our resource box just yet. Nope. Okay. So maybe put some in. Because apparently this server here, you can't actually smelt the items. So we're going to grab a few of that. We'll grab some charcoal too. Now we can make charcoal, so that's not a problem. Where'd it go? There we go. All right. Let's see. And oh, oops, that's coal, not charcoal. All right, so we'll put that in there. There we go. Okay, so we smelted a bunch of charcoal and gotta get put into here. Okay. Now we need to do power for this. Okay. So let's get our power going. Let's see, last place our power ended up at, looks like over here. Yep. All right. So let's go ahead and grab that. And we're going to want to do the input and then pass through and then input. All right, so we're going to need a branch. Okay, we're going to need a branch and a splitter. Okay, and we're going to set this splitter to 3. Because these items here, these industrial crafters, do not have a pass-through, so they got to be provided, and they only require 1 power. So here we go. We're going to have the pass-through, and that's going to be connected to our electrical branch. The branch out is going to go to the power into that, the splitter. And let's go ahead and just change colors. Okay, this one here. And this will go into the power in. Okay. The other one. Into the power in. Okay. So now these can be turned on. And you'll see that nope, nothing's happening. All right, so let's turn this on and turn this on. So now we should see, there we go. And then the crafter's going to craft the gunpowder. And the gunpowder's going to leave, just like that. All right. So now we're crafting gunpowder, and that gunpowder is being put back into our green box here. All right, so let's move it on. Move it on to the tier 2. The tier 2, we're going to create Molotovs and grenades. Okay. Oh yeah, I need to put some cloth in here. So let's go to resources. Let's get some cloth. There we go. Now we got cloth being put in. Okay. So for here, we're going to need a input and output conveyors. Right? So, along with a couple of combiners. Right? So on the input conveyors, right, let's get those on. There's our input. Okay, and then we're going to need a couple of combiners. One there. And one there. And then we'll need our outputs. Okay. So this is our input here. We'll need to do another splitter. Industrial splitter. And that can go right there, be fine. Okay, so our output goes to our input. Okay, output to this one here. Output 3 to that one there. Okay, so it's going to be top to top, bottom to bottom. All right, so now we need to change our filters. And to make Molotovs, which that's considered a weapon, okay, we need 10 cloth and 50 low grade. Okay, so we're going to need cloth and low grade. Okay, so we're going to do 30 cloth and 150 low grade. I like to do at least 3 runs. Okay, and then for the bottom, we're going to do grenades. So grenade is 30 gunpowder and 25 frags. Okay, so got not traps. Gunpowder and frags. Okay, what was it again? 30 and 25. So that'd be 130, that's times 3, that's 90, and then 75. Right, and then apply. Okay, so this is going to go to the top one. Pipe blocked. Okay, there's the top. And now for the bottom. Yay. So this is going to be making grenades. And then this is my Molotovs. Okay, now we need the outputs. Okay. All right. And the output it here. We'll go into this chat to be on the opposite side. Excuse me. Okay, and this is going to be grenades. Oops. So grenades. So now we can actually specify how many we want or whatever. Okay, so let's say we're going to do, let's see, 20 grenades. Okay, hit apply. Now we're going to take the output of this. And we're going to go to this box right here. So this is going to be a box of grenades. All right, now, the reason why I had a combiner here is over here in one of these boxes, which has got our weapons in it. Okay, there it is. So we're going to take the output of this. Bring that over here. So that if we're out and about and we loot some grenades, we can drop them in here and they'll be put into this box right here. Okay. So that way we have all of our grenades here, you know, all our Molotovs, rockets are going to be like that. All right. So now we need to get the input, the other one. Up and over. Put there. And let's see, we'll need to do the same thing over here. I think Molotovs. Yep. Okay, so that means we need a splitter. All right. So we'll just drop a splitter here. Take this out. Put that on the input side. Now, hopefully we shouldn't need to expand, but you know, you never know. Just that. Go. Okay, and then on the other side of the splitter, we'll go up with this one. Okay, so if we have any Molotovs in the box, like we do, it'll also put that into our box over here. Go ahead and bring that down. All right, so this is going to be our Molotov box, and we can decide on as far as how many we want to put in there. So this would be mollies. I'm going to add that, and oh, we'll say we'll do 20. Okay. We got 20 grenades there. We got 20 Molotovs here. All right, so next we got to do is fire everything up. All right. So from the output of here, I'm going to go to the input. All right, pass through to the input, pass through. I'm doing it in green. Let's change our colors. Let's go back to black. All right, there we go. And to the input of that, and pass through to the input, pass through to the input. All right, so again, we're going to need another setup just like this. Another branch and splitter. Okay, so let's get a branch and splitter. Okay, get up to a branch, and then there's a splitter. Okay, we're going to configure this to 3 power. Okay, goes to the input there, and then from there we'll go green. Actually, we'll go blue this time. Run it down here. Goes to the power in. And power in. Okay. So now we go ahead and turn all these on. Pass through. Let's change our color again. Okay, pass through. Just the bottom of that. There we go. So now these here will be powered up. Okay. Now it should be making grenades. But it does. Okay, we're going to check the Molotovs. Turn that on. And it should be now making Molotovs. There we go. Again, it'll suck it out. Okay, turn that off. So here we have 3 grenades. And here we have 3 Molotovs. So back over here, we did have a Molotov and we had a grenade. So now they got transferred to those boxes. So we'll always know that, hey, there are Molotovs and grenades that are in these boxes here. All right, next thing we're going to do is get the rockets done next. Okay, so we'll have to do the same type of setup we got going on here. All right, so we'll need a couple of splitters or conveyors, sorry. Okay, so we need an input, and then of course we'll need the output. And we're going to need one combiner. Okay. All right. And we'll also need one of those and a branch and a electrical splitter. Okay, this will be set to, again, 3 power. Okay, let's get the power taken care of. Okay, and we'll change colors. I will go yellow. And that goes to the power in. And power in. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to our other color. This will come back out. So the input, pass through, the input, pass through, to the input, pass through, to the input. Okay, so now we need to configure our conveyors so we can actually send product over. Okay, so top one's going to be correlated to top one, bottom one, and same here, top of top, bottom. All right. So we need to get some resources. Okay, so 1 and 2 is already used. We're not going to worry about that one there. So we need another industrial splitter. Okay. Fine right there. And that goes to the number 1. All right, so that one can go there, and then this one can go here. Or let's just kind of make it a little bit better. That one can go there, and that one can go there. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be making explosives. So that's going to resource. So we need gunpowder, low-grade sulfur, and then metal frags. Okay, so we'll change our filters. So we need gunpowder. Low-grade. Sulfur. And metal frags. Okay. So how much do we need of each? Okay, so that'd be 150, 9, 30, 30. All right. So that'd be 150, 9, 30, and 30. Okay, hit apply. Take this out. Put that one there. All right. Okay, and then the output of that Input on this conveyor. And this here is going to be explosive. Okay, apply. And now we're going to send that out. To our input output box. Okay. All right. So we can go ahead and turn this on now. And turn that on. All right, now we should be able to, it should be making a explosive. Oh, it might help if I turn it on. All right, yep, there it goes, and there it went. Okay, turn that off. Okay, so now we got our explosives being automatically made. All right, so now we need to, well, now we're going to make rockets. So here we have rockets. All right, so from our, what do we need to make a rocket? Yeah, it's an ammo. We're going to need 2 pipes, 150 gunpowder, and 10 explosives. Okay, change filters. So we need pipes. Right, go, I don't know, 6 of those. Oops. Then we'll need gunpowder, and then we'll need explosives. Okay, so how many of the gunpowder do we need? 150 gunpowder, 10 explosives. Okay, so that's going to be 450 gunpowder and 30 explosives. All right. So now from our output, put our input there, and then our output here. Put our input there. Output here. Go to this input. Okay, and this is going to be rockets. Add, apply. Now that one there we didn't put them out because you may actually want to have a small box full of rockets. Okay, so then the output here, we'll go to this small box. All right, so we had some, oops, not there. Let's see. Yep, there we go. In our ammo box, we got a few extra rockets already. So just in case we have to expand anywhere, we'll go ahead and put a splitter in now. So output here goes to the splitter. Number 2. Run it out here. And then go to the input. All right, so now we can turn this on and turn this on. So this should pull whatever rockets we have in storage right now. Yep, which it just did. And transfer them to this little box. So that means all of our rockets are going to be stored here. Okay, so now we need to make sure that we are going to, let's go ahead and turn it on. Open it up, and we should see rockets being made. There you go. There's a rocket just made. It'll talk it out. There we go. All right, go ahead and turn that off then. All right, so now we have all of our gunpowder being processed. We have Molotovs, we have grenades, we have explosives, and then we have rockets that are going to be automatically made. So literally, you go out Bind a bunch of sulfur and frags or whatnot and throw it in your box, and then it'll get all transferred, separated, smelted, and then made into products that we can actually use. Gunpowder, rockets, Molotovs, grenades, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now that we have that, now we can move on to something else. So maybe you don't have the tier 3 just yet. Maybe you only have just a tier 1, but you do want to go ahead and raid. You know, maybe you have just a tier 2, you don't have a tier 3. Okay, so you still make grenades and Molotovs from it. But what about satchels? All right, well, we can do that through all these tier 1s. Okay, so we'll go from the output of this one over here to this input, or splitter. Okay, again, we want to put down another splitter. Okay, we'll go from the number 1 to the input up here. All right, so this top one here is going to make bean cans. Okay, this is going to make satchels. All right, and then up here we're going to make stashes. All right, so again, we're already connected to our component box, so our components is going to have a rope in it. So since it's already connected to our system, we don't have to make sure it's already connected. So now we just got to provide the appropriate power and everything else to here. So from here, we're going to need those 2 splitters. So this here is going to be making bean can grenades. Just to make a bean can grenade. It's under what? Weapons, maybe? Yeah. Which is gunpowder and metal frags. Okay. So we'll change the filter on here. We'll go gunpowder and metal frags. Okay, so how much do we need of each? 60, so 3, that'd be 180. Okay, so 180. And then the metal frags is 20, so that'd be 60. And 60. Okay, so then the output of this will go to the input of this conveyor. Now these industrial crafter. The industrial crafters also have a bit of output storage. So we don't have to actually have this go to another box, right? We're actually going to have the output go over here to the input of this industrial combiner. This output of this industrial combiner is then going to go to the input of this other conveyor down here. And this conveyor here is what's going to collect all the different items in order to make a satchel. Okay, so that's under tool. Satchel is bean can grenades, 1 small stash, and some rope. Okay, so okay, there's a bean can grenade. Small stash, and some rope. All right, so how many small stashes do we want? We'll do 3 of those, 3 ropes. Now, it's only stacks up to 5 on the bean cans, so let's do 10. All right, so then we go ahead and hit apply. Output of this is going to go to this crafter. Okay, so this crafter is going to be creating our satchel. And then the output of that is going to go over to this conveyor. This conveyor is going to say satchels. And I don't know, we'll create either create a box of them, or we'll say we're going to create 20 of them. All right. But before we do that, we also need to put this into a splitter or industrial combiner. Okay, so we'll do that. Drop that there is fine. Okay, so the output of that go here. All right, that goes there, and then since this is considered a tool, okay, one of these has our tools in it. It's tools. Okay, so we either directly to the output, or what we need to do is go ahead and put in a splitter. Okay. So it goes the input, number 2. And there you go, number 1. All right. So if there's any satchels that are in the system after we've been looting, it'll be automatically dropped into this box. Okay, so then from this box, there we go. So this is going to make 20 satchels and store it in this box. All right. So now, see, this is going to make our small stashes. Okay, so we need to have another conveyor. Okay. Okay, we've got to hook that up. Otherwise, it's never going to get any resources. All right. So then number 3 here. I'll go to the input of this, and we're going to be making, all we need is, what is it, cloth. Okay. So the output of that goes to the input of there. Change our filter. Now we're going to do cloth. Since it's 10, we'll go ahead and do 30. All right, hit apply. Now the output of that is going to go all the way back over here to the input of there. Okay, so what other item do we need? Okay, we got that being made, we got that being made, and now we just need the rope. Okay. Well. Put the rope in here. Okay, so let's do that. There we go. So now this should be collecting the rope. All right, so then here we'll do that. Okay. Now we just need to power all this stuff up. Okay, so let's get where our last bit of power is at, which is right here. Go ahead and bring that up. Bring that over here. Put that into there. Change this to 3, which it's already set. Power that in. All right, and you need to do this on the power inside. And then do the same thing over here. Power in. All right, so these should turn on, which they do. That's good. Okay. So now we need to do the on the other branch. So the input power that. Okay, that's already connected. So now we can actually turn these on. Okay, so then this has got a pass through. Okay, we're going to bring that over to here. Input. Okay, pass through. And to the input of that. All right, so we will need another splitter. And sorry, electrical branch. and electrical splitter. Okay, configure this to 3 again. All right, so the bypass. Go there, output of this, to the input of that. All right, so this goes to the power in of there, and then here, power in. Okay, so these should power up, which they do. Okay. All right, so we now should be able to turn that on. We can turn that on. And so this should be gathering us some cloth, which it just did, in order to make our satchels. So if we go ahead and turn all these on, okay, turn that on, and turn that on. So now what this is going to do is going to start creating satchels. It's going to start creating the stashes for us. Again, this has got some inventory, so once this has already been satisfied as far as how many stashes it wants to keep in here, excuse me. All right, so I wanted 3. There you go. We created a satchel for us. Okay. All right. See, it's going to get. This will be the storage for it when it's not being used. And so there we go. Now we have a satchel here. So this is creating the bean cans. Right? Bean cans are being sent to this combiner. So we have 3 inputs on that combiner. And then we're creating your satchels. Okay. Once this box has got it satisfied as far as how many it's going to have, this stuff here will just keep running until it's backed up. Okay. So we go ahead and just keep this running until it creates its 20. And instead of doing 20, let's just go ahead and just say, make I don't know, make like 6 of them. Okay, so it'll make a few more for us. All right. So now that we have satchels being made, okay, it will require 2 tier 1 workbenches in order to do that. Okay. So now we're going to say we're going to sell I don't know, we're going to sell pickaxes, and we want so we'll go to administration. We're going to sell pickaxes. Okay. And we're going to trade that for some sulfur. Sulfur ore is fine. And, I don't know, how about 50 sulfur? Oop, hold on. There we go. So we're going to add that ore. All right. So now on this conveyor here, all right, we're going to change our filter to pickaxes. Apply. We're going to add that. And since we don't want a whole bunch in there, we want to fill up the whole entire thing, we're going to say, well, just put like in, 3 of them. Okay, so we hit apply. All right, so now we need to, again, since this should be already powered up, all right, which it is. So we need another input conveyor. Okay, we'll do that. There. Okay, so the output of that, power there. Input, and then we'll go to the bypass to the input. All right. So now, pull out this one. So go here. Okay, to create that, we're going to need 100 wood and 125 metal frags. Okay. So we're going to change our filter. We need wood. And we're going to need metal frags. All right, so 100 wood, so we'll say 300 wood. And it's at 450 in metal frags. Quick. 125, so that's 375. Okay, so we'll change that to 375. Hit apply. All right. Then the output of that is going to go to the input of this conveyor constructor. And then from here, we'll go to the input of that. And if you want to put multiple things, what we can do here is we can put a combiner. Okay. So we're going to put an industrial combiner. Oh, right there would be fine. Okay, so the output of this, number 2 is fine. And this here, pipe blocked. Of course, the pipe blocked. There we go. Okay, so now we can go ahead and turn this on. Turn this on. So now it's going to create some pickaxes for us. Once it gets enough materials. Okay, took a pickaxe, goes through here, and then puts it into our vending machine. So now our vending machine is going to, it should hold, I think what I said, 3. So waiting on one more. Okay. So now we said 3, so it's going to check that box. And now it's not going to, they shouldn't put any more than just 3 in here. Okay. In the meantime, it's still going to create some. So it's still going to create some until some gets sold. All right, so what do we do with these stuff that we have sold? Well, if you're just selling stuff for sulfur, what we can do now is excuse me, sorry about that. Okay, so the output, you can go to another conveyor. All right, so this conveyor here is going to say sulfur. And hit apply. And then the output of that, go to our in and output box over here. And start the whole process again. You know, or maybe you want to sell it for metal ore. I don't know, HQM. You know, you can choose whatever you want. So, okay, let me get a little sulfur in my hands here. So it should be in. Yep, there we go. All right, so I got some sulfur in my hands. Oh, I saw your shop. Hey, I want to come buy some stuff. All right. So I walked to my shop. Hey, I can buy that. Great. I go buy me one. All right. Now I deposited my sulfur here. Replace this. So now this should take the sulfur out. But before it takes it out, we got to put some power to it. All right. So the output pass through. Okay. To the input, turn that on. So now, there he goes. It takes the sulfur out. So now we have no more sulfur here, and we have our pickaxe replaced. So this is how you can automate the selling of your products. You can make stuff, you know, for a vending machine. Open it back up, you know, oh, hey, I want to buy another one of these. Okay, then it takes the sulfur out of here automatically. They replace it with another one being made. Then the sulfur will get put into our input-output box and then transferred to our resource boxes and then back over to here to be processed into ore. Now, on this particular creative server, it doesn't allow me to process ores, but you get kind of the idea of how to do this. So that is more detailed as far as how you can craft your different booms or raiding equipment. You can craft yourself some items to be put into a vending machine. And it's not limited to just one item. You can have multiple items running into here. But every item's going to, you always want to set the conveyor as far as how many you want to put in there. And then the output of that, the profits that you have going out of that vending machine, you put it back into your system. And then you pretty much have a fully automated base. Okay, there's a few other things you could probably maybe automate to make things a little easier. You can have these ores being turned on automatically, which that requires a little bit more complicated, different type of circuit than what we currently have here. But it can be done very, pretty easily. Alrighty. Well, anyways. Alrighty, folks. Well, hey, I do appreciate everybody coming out and enjoying this video with me. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye for now.